Hey, if you're a new business broker, listen up. There's one single skill that's going to define your success more than anything else, and that's mastering financial credibility. You get it right, deals close like magic. You get it wrong, well, they just fall apart. So this is your key to building that rock-solid trust right from day one.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to start by talking about the biggest deal killer out there, the credibility gap. Then I'm going to show you how to build an absolutely undeniable foundation with what we call ground truth. After that, we'll get into the art of normalization. That's how you reveal a business's true value. And finally, we'll weave it all into a story that guides the deal right across the finish line.
All right, let's dive in. The biggest hurdle you're going to face as a new broker. It's probably not what you think. It's not about finding buyers or getting listings. It's something way more fundamental, something that can quietly torpedo a deal before it even gets going.
So just take a second, think about it. What do you think is the single biggest reason that good, solid business deals just fall apart? I'm telling you, if you can get this right from the very beginning of your career, you are going to be light years ahead of everybody else.
It's this, right here. A complete breakdown in financial trust. It's that moment when the buyer looks at the numbers, the lender looks at the numbers, and they just don't line up with what the seller is claiming. And that's the moment when deals don't just stall, they die.
So how do you stop that from happening? How do you prevent that fatal breakdown? Simple. You have to build the entire deal on a foundation that is absolutely undeniable. You have to create a single source of financial truth right from the start. And that foundation, that one source of truth that nobody can argue with, it's the business's tax return. Why? Because it's the one document that's been filed with the government under penalty of perjury. The buyer, the seller, and you know who else? The lender. They all have to accept this as the official starting point. This is your ground truth.
Now here's the catch. This is really important. While the tax return is the truth, it is not the whole truth. See, it's a document designed to do one thing: minimize the owner's tax bill. It's not designed to show a buyer how much money the business is actually making. This gap between the tax story and the real operational story is where deals get messy, and it's where a great broker proves their worth.
The first step is to get this data out cleanly and accurately. Now, doing this by hand, oh man, it's not just slow, it's a recipe for making mistakes. This is where tools like TaxTract are a game changer. You just upload the tax returns and the software automatically pulls out all the key data, creating this perfect, error-free foundation that plugs right into your valuation tools. Okay, so once we have that clean data from the tax return, we get to do the really cool part. This is where you go from just being a number presenter to a storyteller. This is the art of normalization. Now, normalization probably sounds like some stuffy accounting term, right? But think of it like this. You're restoring a classic car. You're not changing the car, you're just taking off the dirt, you're polishing the chrome, and you're tuning the engine to show what it can really do. That's all we're doing with the financials. We're revealing the business's true, ongoing horsepower for a new owner. So this means we're taking out one-time events, like the profit they made from selling an old piece of equipment. It means we're adjusting the owner's salary to what it would actually cost to hire a general manager. We make sure the rent is at a fair market rate, not some special deal the owner gave themselves. Every single adjustment just removes more of the noise and brings the business's real earning power into sharp focus. And the power of doing this? It is absolutely staggering. Just look at this example. In the first scenario, the books show a really low owner salary. Based on that, the business is valued at $520,000. But in scenario 2, we just normalize that salary to what it would actually cost to hire a replacement. That one simple, honest adjustment increases the defensible value to $680,000. That's $160,000 unlocked just by telling the true financial story. And that's really the whole point. It's not about juicing the numbers or making things up. It's about getting to a price that is both realistic and completely defensible. When your valuation is built on clear, logical adjustments that you can explain to anyone, you build incredible trust. The buyer gets it, the lender signs off on it, and the deal just keeps moving forward.
So once you have this incredible single source of normalized truth, you don't just, drop a giant spreadsheet on a buyer and run away. No, you use it strategically to build a narrative and to guide them through the deal one stage at a time.
So here's how this works in practice. When you're first marketing the business, you give them a high-level summary just to get them interested. Once a buyer is serious, they sign an NDA, and you give them an executive summary with a bit more financial detail. And finally, when they're really deep in due diligence, you deliver the full package, the CIM, with a complete line-by-line breakdown. The magic here is that every single document, from that first little teaser to the final report, is built from the exact same trusted dataset. No surprises, no contradictions.
Okay, so let's bring it all home. What does mastering this whole process actually mean for you and your career? How does this translate into a real competitive advantage that helps you become a top broker?
Well, first, by using a systematic, tool-driven approach, you get rid of all the tedious grunt work. That means you eliminate manual data entry errors, which makes you way more accurate, and it speeds up your whole workflow like you wouldn't believe. You're no longer buried in spreadsheets. You're free to focus on what you actually do best: strategy, negotiation, and closing deals.
And here's the real payoff. When you master this data-driven process, you become the bridge of trust in every deal. You align everyone's expectations right from the start. This builds your reputation as a credible, transparent expert, and that leads directly to smoother, faster deals and way stronger relationships with your clients.
So, as you start your career, I want you to leave with this one question. Always ask yourself, are the financials I'm presenting building bridges of trust between everyone, or are they creating barriers of confusion and doubt? Get this right, and you'll be setting every single one of your deals up for success.